everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. So continuing on with the Silver Bronze Age collection. This is part 7. Hopefully this will be a little more interesting than that last big box that I thought were magazines and weren't magazines. And well, we'll move on here. But you know, when you get a collection in the raw and it's a large collection, this is kind of what happens. So again, if you want to see a little more realistic look on it, this is definitely unsorted and so on and so forth. You can see down here more wasp nest, mud dauber remains, I guess we would call it. Typical, more water damage to the lid. So let's get moving here. If you guys get a chance, hey, click like, hit subscribe, you know, check out our other videos. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 more after this one. Just to this collection. Then I still have some eclectic stuff. Boy, this is packed way too tight. Eclectic stuff coming in. I might squeeze a couple of those in between these. Doggone it. I'm trying. Oh boy, dangerous stuff. And these look pretty nice so far. Star Spangled, featuring the Unknown Soldier. I don't see as many of these as I do the Sergeant Rocks. They do sell. That's one of the early comics I bought off the shelf as a kid, was right there. So is that one. So GI Combat, I had subscriptions to both of these books. Probably not this early. I think it was a little older, maybe when they hit 35 or 40 cents. I started having the subscriptions to whenever they went to the end. But I bought a lot of them off the shelf. Our Fighting Forces, I gotta tell you, it's the weakest, at least for me, the weakest seller, the least in demand book out of all the DC war books. And they featured, ironically enough, they featured the losers, and I gotta tell you, they nailed it on the head. I'll move those. Here we got some more 20 centers. Boy, these are nice and still got a little schmutz on the back, but not bad. Not seeing any super bad water damage right now, so that's nice. And I don't know why, this is one of my favorite characters in the DCU, has always been the Unknown Soldier. They still do something with them time to time, I assume to keep the copyright up to date. They do some mini-series and some appearances, you know, and kind of showed his origin a few years back. It's pretty good. Did a good job with it. GI War, so this is another one that does not have a lot of interest, at least here. This is considered kind of a classic cover right there. But overall, I just don't have people too interested in that title. There's some Hulks again. I seem to be running, oh, that's part of the theme. I ran into little batches of Hulk and then a Care Bear's thrown in. I don't know if somebody's trying to be funny there and throw a Care Bears in every now and then, or what happened. They sure pop up in the oddest places, though, don't they? See how many more we get in this collection. Now I need to kind of carefully, because I don't think, these don't feel like they have broken spines like those earlier Thor and Hulks. So I'm thinking these are just packed in tight and left, and sometimes that's the best for them. And again, quite a few Joe Kubert covers on these, because I don't know, I can't believe his arm didn't fall off. As many covers as he did. Oh, here we go. This is one of the more popular titles, along with Sergeant Rock. GI Combat, not a super early one. Those earlier covers, that one's really rough, are just beautiful. If you ever get to see the earlier, even the pre-Haunted Tank stuff, have just wonderful covers on them. And these are getting a little bit better. And we're going up in grade. Another Kubert cover there. Most of these are. So we've got, well, quite a run of these. I think I've got all these. Pretty sure I've got most, if not all, of these books already in my PC. Again, I'll have to spend some time after the first of the year when things slow down a little bit show-wise and sales-wise, and just have time to dig through them and see what I need. That's a great cover, and that's one I might be able to upgrade because I think mine's pretty rough on that. And a little bit of, is that a chew? No, that's a tear. We had some chew damage yesterday in some of those books, but so far that's been kept to a minimum. So that's been really good. We haven't had a whole lot of problems. The cover's barely hanging on to this one. You can feel it when you pick it up. Here's when I had a subscription. It was during this era, that big war book and battle book and stuff. So I got every one of them at one time anyway. How many of them survived, I honestly don't know or don't remember. And I'm a little surprised in a way, because the war books really kind of died off other than G.I. Joe, which is more of a cartoon book. But they seem to be having interest again the last, well, just before pre-COVID, and then during COVID and now they're still pretty strong. A Marvel Universe got snuck into the G.I. Combat, kind of like the Care Bears did. And a little bit out of order back and forth on the numbers. Let me see. Okay, looks like... Oh, okay. Looks like we're kind of coming to the end here in the GI Combats. Well, at least for now anyway. There may be more tucked in behind there. Another one of the big war dollar-sized ones. Again, mostly Joe Kubert. So this is, we found one other, I think, Secret Wars yesterday in that kind of junk box. So it looks like I got some more. There's 5. Of course, 8's the one we want to have. There's 6, because that was the first black costume that later turned into Venom for Spidey. Oh, and there it is. Let's take a little closer look at this. Boy, for a book that wasn't bagged or boarded, holy smokes. A little bit of a stain there, but boy, I gotta tell you, that's a really nice book. I'll have to get that thing bagged and boarded right away. It started with 5, so it looks like so far, well, and I think 12 was one in the other box, wasn't it? I can't remember for sure, but I'm thinking it was. So we've got, well, I guess the last 2/3. Oh, here's some more of that Atari Force. We talked about that. I had a few of those. And very highly regarded story, but nobody really collects them. So again, if you're a reader, that would be one I would suggest you pick up. It'd be that Atari Force. Oh, there's another Sergeant Rock 386, getting towards the end of the run. Another Hulk 290. Oh, got an early G.I. Joe there. Found a, what, 22 and 27 or something like that in the other box. I always liked that cover. I had a subscription in that era too, so I got that one. Another Thor. That one's not too bad a shape. There's another book I got as a kid. Micronauts do sell. It's actually a pretty good story. I liked Rom a little bit better, but they're both really good. So that's another one if you want to pick a reading copy to collect. Micronauts and Rom both are pretty decent. That one's pretty rough. Oh, Astonishing Tales. There's some actually pretty good issues in here. That's, yeah, Deathlock. I don't know. I just can't do much with them, even the first appearances and stuff. Another Star Spangled Unknown Soldier. These don't turn up a lot. I get more of the 60s and the Silver Age than I do of the early Bronze or the real late Silver. Let me see, what year is that? Most people think Bronze Age started in 70. This is 73, so being an early Bronze Age. And these are pretty nice. I really don't know what the demand is on them, because I just don't get them unless they're trash. So those are some nicer copies. Back to Star Spangled. Boy, we're really jumping around here, but I will say it keeps things interesting. Well, that one, sacrifice that one. Hopefully not too bad a shape. There we go. Survived, I think. Yeah, it did. Don't want to make a habit of that, though, do I? Interesting cover there. And here you go. Here's another Creature Commandos. That's coming out. James Gunn stuff, animated. I don't know. I don't have any right now, so I don't know if those things have jumped in price or interest or not. Oh, that's too bad. Nice cover, but it is shot. That is in terrible condition. Green Lantern Corps, great read. I don't think anybody pays any attention to Green Lantern much. At least around here, they do not sell well. But it was a good read. One of my favorite books. Don't think I had a subscription to that one though. Sergeant Rock Annual 3. Don't see a lot of annuals. All right, now we're getting back into some Hulks here. Boy, that's a nice book. This one isn't too bad either. Rocket Raccoon on the cover there. A little bit of a sub-crease. Must have had a subscription to that one too. And back to Micronauts. I'll have some fun putting these runs together, just see how many are missing and complete and so on. Another DC Comics Presents. Boy, I'm hoping for that He-Man Masters of the Universe. There's another Sergeant Rock. Oh, wait a minute, I read too many of these. Doctor Strange. Haven't seen really a lot of those in the collection. Here's another parody book. I really enjoyed it. I got to tell you, it was really, really well done. They're not worth much. You know, kind of that, well, exactly like that Fred Hembeck stuff. He did a lot of work on there. Oh, that's cool. There's another Ant-Man. Oh, it's really rough though. I can see that. It's not water damage, but somebody's favorite comic. Pretty cool though. I'll see if I got the rest of them. Men of War, I think Gravedigger. Yeah, Gravedigger was in this one. Again, I had a subscription to it. I liked it, but it does not sell very well. I do not have a lot of people asking me for this particular title for war books. I think it is underrated. The Our Fighting Forces is not underrated. It's really bad. It's just bad, man. This was an underrated book, and it's something, you know, it's really not a whole lot different than any of the others, but it's kind of sort of in the vein of a cross between Sergeant Rock and Unknown Soldier a little bit, kind of deal. And boy, I got a lot of them. I didn't have the first one there. And you can see, you know, this is what happens. Oh, there's two there. This is what happens when things aren't stored properly. So I'm going to harp on that again, guys. I don't care if you're a diehard collector or not. Those are all broken spines when they're curled because they sat in the box and didn't have any support. Oops, and there's another one. Now you can probably get most of those bends out, but the spine's still broken in most cases. And there's not really a good, well, not an economical or quality fix for that. Not an easy one. And you can feel that, like when I was flipping the book like this, you can feel that there's something wrong with it just by doing that. If these are higher grade, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But it looks like these were all bent. Well, he's got quite a complete run here, other than the first, what, couple, three? And he did cross over at the same time into some of the other war books, and the big battle books a lot of times had a story with him and Johnny Cloud, the Mustang fighter pilot. Oh, got some more Kamandis, and that's one. It's a little rough. A lot of people consider it a classic Kirby cover because of the Statue of Liberty, kind of Planet of the Apes deal going on here. And let's see, yeah, we'll just keep going. Two, I had a higher number one, or a few higher numbers in the previous videos. That one again, bent broken spine. Number 5, a lot of these are just going to be probably in the VG range. Kirby Bondage cover. And if you don't know the story, they ended, there was an ending to the Kamandi storyline, but they canceled the comic before they made it that far. And it was a few years later they finally published, I believe it was the last 2 issues in kind of a DC special format that had some other stories in it. So it took a while, and it was actually on the kind of the gray market underground stuff at the big conventions. Somebody must have worked for DC and had the art and the story, so they were going around for a while there at the big conventions, and you could pick it up, which, you know, was totally not right or cool, but that's what they did. So it was nice they finally published it, even though it was boy, what was it, 5 years? I can't remember. It was quite a bit after they canceled the title. And this was Jack Kirby's baby, just like the New Gods. This was not really part of the New Gods series. Again, futuristic, post-apocalyptic, Planet of the Apes kind of deal, but it was very, very well done, even if it wasn't the most, say, original premise out there. No, that's too bad. I got a big old chunk out of it. And again, you know, if you're into reading, the stories, not just collecting covers or whatever's hot, you know, on YouTube or whatever for the month, that was actually an interesting part of the story. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but you really should read it if you're into that kind of that Fallout or what's the other one? You know, the video games set place in the future. You would probably really like this, I would think. And if you do read it, you may even think that, say, some of the Fallout series and some other similar games may have taken a little bit of inspiration from this particular story run. Whoop, I got 2 of them there. Hang on. And we're getting towards the end. There can't be a whole lot left. It wasn't a super duper long run. And some of these later issues are actually harder to find than the new ones. So some of these later issues, well, I might even be able to upgrade some of these, even with the bent spine. These are actually probably around fine or so, maybe a tick better if the spine's not broken. And we're getting there. It's getting close. I don't know what title's behind it. I guess we're going to find out here before too long. But it is frustrating, so just to let you know, make sure if you do pick these up and read it, make sure you pick up the end of the story, because it just leaves you hanging. And there's OMAC, which is just like the Superman, is really an interesting little twist. If you've read the OMAC line from the 70s, which didn't last long, and also Batman books in the 90s had some OMAC appearances in there. And so it was really interesting. Hawk and Dove, gosh, they had some nice covers. Gil Kane, but again, it's not one people are fighting over. Black Hawk. Now the earlier Black Hawks, 10 centers, especially the quality comics when it was published by them, and the early DC that used the quality art for a couple of issues, pretty sought after. These later ones, I don't have a lot of folks looking for them, and you know, that one's pretty much battered to oblivion there. Still a good reader. Kong, not a great seller. It is a #1. It's got a big old stain up there, and it's a Bernie Wrightson cover. I thought it was. So you know, a few of the Bernie Wrightson guys like me would pick it up, but not for a fortune. I mentioned Viking Prince and Joe Kubert, so there you go. Kind of Prince Valiant, you know, kind of Tarzan cross. I don't know, just a big adventure book. It really wasn't a bad book, just not very popular. These are interesting. I've always liked these on the wanted ones. Most of them don't have a whole lot of value on it. Doll Man, which they picked up when the company went on business. DC bought a lot of, I guess, bankrupt characters, if you will, when companies bailed on them or failed. That one's torn on the top. But they were fun reads. So was the super villains. Oh, I gotta tell you, I had no idea. I honestly did not know those were in there when I said that. This was, you know, great cover, but again, nobody really cares. Nobody goes after them. This is the one I bought it as a kid just on a lark because I had extra money, so I didn't get them all. But it's actually kind of a fun read, so I really did enjoy that. First issue special, Outsiders. I think the only one today is still the Warlord. That was his first appearance, was in that line, and it's not super expensive. Sandman 1, actually that's a pretty decent copy. Feels like the spine's pretty good on that. You know, I get a lot of them. They're not rare, even in high grade. They don't sell real fast. Starfire, you know, I guess it's kind of that Conan kind of theme. Vince Coletta there on the cover art, but it never caught on. Plastic Man, that is a line I don't get much of. Gold, silver, maybe up until the 80s, he was in a lot of Brave and the Bold. Always been a fan of the Plastic Man stuff, and I'm pretty sure I need that one. Karate Kid, you know, he's a member of the Legion of Superheroes. I don't know why, because he had no superpowers. I don't know if that was their answer to Chang-Chi, or even this one, Kung Fu Fighter, Richard Dragon. You know, that was the 70s, but Marvel, I think Marvel did a little better, to be honest with you. I thought their storylines, actually the Charlton, if you get the yin and yang, really good story. Really battered Detective 306, might not be complete. Have not seen a lot of Bat books in here. Definitely was a Superman fan. This one's a little better. I think it's just going to get good out of that one. Here's the era again. I had subscriptions to this and World's Finest, Brave and the Bold. So that's one I would have had as a kid, although every once in a while they didn't miss one. These are fun books. You know, I was talking about Joe Kubert and all he did, and here's kind of a Secret Lives of Joe Kubert. And you know, it just basically reprints some of his stories. There's Viking Prince again, but it was a neat little anthology, you know, of different stories he did. Here's an oddball horror sci-fi. I think I've got this one. I'll have to look. ACG, American Comics Group. Let me see, what year is this? 67. So getting kind of towards the end of the run. Had some good covers. These things for years you couldn't give them away, and now Charlton and ACG stuff, I'll tell you, especially if it's above VG, pretty easy sale. And I can't find them in better than VG very often. I really like this line. They also showed up, I believe, in Showcase, was it, or Brave and the Bold? I can't remember. Interesting premise. Great art on that. That's a Nick Cardy art. Did a lot of Teen Titans and I believe Flash and a few other books. Here's a really trash Tomahawk. I don't even know what to make of that. The early ones, 10 centers, do sell a little bit because they really did have some cool covers like that one. Those two are pretty low grade. Beowulf, again, sword and sorcery stuff. Very little interest in it. Did not sell well. I don't think I even read one of those. Here's one of my favorite titles, sci-fi horror. Joe Kubert, again, a lot of people don't think of him as a sci-fi. It's still war and battle based, as you see, but finding those in high grade can be a challenge too. Same here, From Beyond the Unknown, and boy, that's a pretty nice book. I think I'm going to have to check on that one. I'm thinking I can upgrade some here. These are pretty decent. That's a great cover. Kind of a rift, I believe, on Strange Adventures. Is it number 2 where they had the comic cover? And you look, whoops, you look inside. You got Gardner Fox, Carmine Infantino, Joe Gaella. You know, they had some quality stuff. So DC did not just churn them out to churn them out. They actually put some pretty good effort into their sci-fi and horror books. I don't want these to fall over, so I'm trying to be a little careful with them. Number 5, we got some early ones. I don't know why I see more copies of this Beyond the Unknown 6 everywhere I go. I just don't know why. If nobody bought it and there's a bunch of leftovers, it's I guess unusual cover, not one of my favorites, but there's doubles in here. I gotta tell you, I've had more copies of this Beyond the Unknown number 6 than any of the other issues in that run. And there we go. And I love these giant size. They call them super size here. But again, really great covers. And again, that's Joe Kubert doing a sci-fi cover. So not just war, not just Tarzan, which he was doing at the time. He was doing everything. This is too bad. This is a rough book. I don't even see the wrinkling, some soiling on it. The cover's attached, but it is beat up. But that is kind of considered a bit of a classic cover with the Statue of Liberty. Again, you know, Planet of the Apes kind of theme going on with that. Anyway, that's the last one in this box. I got plenty of videos coming. Click like, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.